And the Bengals' #1 overall pick, Joe Burrow, is in the top 10 in passing yards for the entire league, not just rookies. Shannon, who would you take moving forward, Tua, Herbert, or Burrow?
I mean, just looking at it right now in a vacuum, I mean, these three guys, I mean, you say Justin Herbert. Skip, I didn't see this at Oregon. I mean, I knew he was athletic because I saw him run wild in Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl, but I never saw him throw the ball like he's throwing it right now. And I guess that's the hardest thing is that when you project, Skip, you're like, this guy can be really, really well. And that's what they did with Daniel Jones. It's like, well, he's throwing the ball well, but who is he throwing to? No, none of these guys from Duke is going to go play in the NFL. And so you got to factor that in. Says, okay, once you put talent around him, I'm looking at Justin Herbert. Skip, he's second in the league in passing yards behind Russ. He has 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I did not see this. And I understand, well, we have a high grade on him, but this. Here's one thing, Skip. Okay, the guy's, throwing for 250 yards a game. But second as a rookie in the league in passing? Nah, I didn't see this. I think Joe Burrow has been unbelievable given the situation. And I like what I saw with Tua, and I believe he's only going to get better as we move forward. But right now it says, okay, Shannon, you got one. I'm gonna take this kid at the Chargers. And moving forward, Skip, do you trust Cincinnati? Do you really trust Cincinnati? I just hope A-Lin can turn this thing around, my former teammate, with the Chargers, and continue to grow. But I like Tua. I just think Tua's going to improve. He's a little behind where the other guys are because this is only a second start. But, Skip, the comparison's going to be there. It's going to be like 83. You got Kelly, Marino, and Elway. And
you hope it's going to be.
No, but I'm saying that's going to be the comparison.
Right.
But Tony Eason and Kenny O'Brien was also in that draft. And then you get 04, where you got Eli, Phillip Rivers, and Big Ben. And so now you have another, set. And you, like you said, hopefully they're like this. But the question is, when you look at the 04 draft, Skip, who do we say the best? Because Eli has 2 Super Bowls with two Super Bowl MVPs. Big Ben has 2 Super Bowls with no MVPs. And Phillip Rivers has a ton of yards and a ton of touchdowns. So ultimately, how are we going to measure these guys is going to be by championships. Because, and do we believe, I think Tua has the best chance to get the first championship. I don't see Cincinnati. Cincinnati and Super Bowl don't even go together.
They did once upon a time.
Back in the 80s, Kenny Anderson and Boone, my former partner at CBS Boone.
Yep. Like you, I watched Justin Herbert a lot at Oregon. I didn't remotely see this. I saw him too often in big games in the Pac-12, just come unglued.
Skip, not to cut you off, but you remember they opened the season. They played in Jerry World. They played Auburn.
They did.
And I'm like, y'all talking about this guy could possibly be the #1 pick in the draft?
Nope.
No way.
He would unravel, big turnovers, big moments, sort of go blind, just didn't seem to see the field. I don't know what it is about pro football that suited him, but this suits it. I also think that's a good football team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle there.
They got some weapons.
Which is why I couldn't believe they didn't go get Cam. I thought this is made for Cam, SoFi Stadium.
Right.
And I thought Cam could take this team places. They could go a distance in the playoffs. But instead, they go 6th overall. They pick Justin Herbert, and it looks like not a good pick. It looks like all-time great pick.
You got Keenan Allen, you got Hunter Henry, you got the Williams kid, they got Eckler. Skip, they got some talent.
And Eckler's not even there right now.
Right, but I'm saying they got some talent on the offensive side.
Okay, he doesn't have much to show for it yet in his record because he's 1-6.
Right.
But 17 touchdowns to only 5 picks.
You can live with it.
6 feet, 6 inches tall, and he can run.
Yeah.
So he's averaged 5 yards a run on 33 carries. That'll work. His QBR is way up at 73, and he's lost 6 games, and he still has a QBR 73.
They should have won Sunday, Skip. He had the guy that got dropped when he hit the ground. They should have
won about 4 of them.
They really should have. They really should have.
I got it, and I hope your man survives, Anthony Lynn.
He got to go and get some wins.
Okay, I dug in on Joe Burrow before the draft, and I'm still there. I would still take him long-term over Justin Herbert. And it's because his degree of difficulty is so high. It's not a good football team. In fact, it's been a divided football team. Carlos Dunlap is somebody's always unhappy and wants out, right? Everybody wants out. And yet he's kept them together enough to go 2-5-1. He's 67% of his passes. He's 11 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. And he's got athletic ability because he was a good high school basketball player. And at 6'4", he can run.
Yeah.
He can escape. But what I like the most is his mental and physical toughness under siege without much protection is spectacular.
And that's what concerns me, Skip, is that he's taking some punishment.
He's
taking hits and he's taking sacks.
Yep.
So that's what concerns me about him long term. How much of that is he going to be able to withstand? They got to get him some protection.
Yep. He's got swagger. He's got competitive fire. And he's got accuracy. You can't teach it or coach it, but he is deadly accurate. We saw him go on the greatest run through the college, sort of the second half of the college season we've ever seen anybody be on, including Kyler and Baker before him.
No quarterback has ever had a season like this.
No, never. And he has done even better than I thought he could for a really bad football team. And to your point, I hope he just doesn't get flat out hurt where he just can't go anymore. But if they do have another low pick and they can begin to build around him and get him some protection and some more weapons, boy, I just love how he's made. I love his makeup as much as his physical ability.
Because you look at Justin Herbert in college, in the Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever they call it, they throw the ball a bunch. He averaged 248 yards passing a game. You look at Joe Burrow, he averaged 378. Tua averaged 315. So you expect these guys to be able to throw the ball, but 248 in college is nothing. I mean, they're like, you threw for 248 a game in college? Where you play?
Yeah, who are you talking about? Are these guys like
last year, Justin Herbert averaged 248.
Oh, yeah, last year. I know, I got it.
Yeah, and I'm like, if you, Skip, you say you threw for 248, they're like, what'd y'all run, the wishbone?
I know. Now he's 307, which ranks
second behind Russ.
Yeah, well, it's third most per game, but his total yards are behind Russ. I got it. Joe Burrow's averaging 284 a game, which is really good for a bad football team.
Yes.
So I would stick Burrow, Herbert, Tua. Tua did impress me at Arizona. Doesn't exactly have a rifle.
No.
It's a soft arm. It's like soft ice cream, but he's accurate.
That's all, you like that soft serve?
Yep.
You know who served more ice cream than anybody? Dairy Queen and McDonald's. But the McDonald's machine is already broke, always broke, so they go to Dairy Queen.
Is that what they do?
The most ice cream, soft serve.
Really?
Yeah, I love them soft serve. Yep.
I used to when I was a little kid.
They dip that thing in that chocolate.
Oh.
It freezing.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Don't do it anymore.
Well, you don't do it? No, I don't do dairy either, Skip. I can't do it.
Sorry.
Makes me congested.
Does it? Yeah. It just would make me fat. I don't want to get fat.
Man, Skip. Yeah. You got to enjoy yourself, man. Live a little bit.
I do frozen yogurt. It works. It's almost like soft ice cream. Maybe not.
You guys are talking to the biggest Dairy Queen fan around. Oh my gosh, as a kid, I would still go there every day if there was a Dairy Queen close by, just so y'all know. I'm not too concerned. I'm just gonna work it off another day. And for the record, I'm glad that you guys are finally on the Justin train. I was telling you to expect great things. I just want to remind everyone. All right, just so it's been said. Could things really get any worse for the Bucs after their 38-3 loss to a division rival?